My name is Rhys Griffin. I am a railroad enthusiast. Basically, I love trains, and I have some knowledge of what types of trains are out there. You've got your passenger trains, your freight trains, and believe it or not, maintenance trains that work on the track. My favorite part of a train definitely has to be the locomotive. A lot of people tend to mistake these for trains. A train is a locomotive coupled up with rolling stock, forming a train. Locomotives can be powered by different types of fuels. The types we commonly see today are either diesel or electric locomotives. But my personal favorites are steam engines, often powered by coal or wood. Not many of these exist today, which is rather saddening. I recently met Gary Giffray, a fellow railroad enthusiast. Gary has collected model trains since 1953 and has fond memories of seeing steam locomotives in person as a child.
One time the engineer who saw me and Dad out there day after day, he stopped one of the engines and got down and offered for me to come on board, but I chickened out. I didn't do it. You had to climb pretty high up to get up into the cab, so I declined and been kicking myself ever since. But I did have my chance to get in a cab of one of those big steam trains later, but much later.
In 1961, Gary went on his first train trip aboard the Texas Zephyr, shortly before the service was scheduled to close. In 1980, he rode on the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad, a railroad that I would personally love to visit.
The High Line is built on a ridge, a narrow ridge that goes around this mountain and overlooks the Animas River about 400 feet below.
Most of Gary's railroad trips were in the UK. During the 1990s, Gary went to the UK and rode the Eurostar.
On the Eurostar, when the other train is coming from the other direction, it's more like a and that's it, and they're gone. and you feel the train move over a little bit because of the suction caused by the terrific speed that creates. It's a little bit disconcerting that the trains are on the Eurostar kind of close, you know.
Since childhood, Gary has collected model trains not just from the US, but also from Europe. Thomas the Tank Engine, a popular children's character, is what introduced me to trains. And Gary has a collection of Thomas engines that even I don't have. Most of Gary's engines are from the Hornby Rage, where the characters look much more like the real engines they are based on. Henry, for example, is based on the LMS Black 5, a steam engine that is still in service today on British railways. Sadly, trains are underappreciated nowadays, and most passenger services are handled by planes. But freight trains are still around, working hard to carry cargo all across the country. Passenger trains are still around, but not as prevalent as they once were back in the good old days. Maybe one day they will come back and show the world the old glory they once had. And who knows? Maybe steam engines will make a return.